Well, would you look at that? The month has just started and we are seeing more institutions go and purchase GameStop. You can see over here January 3rd and January 3rd and late December, all from December 30th, 27th, so on and so forth. These are all buying pressure. You can see another institution purchased 12,000 shares, another institution purchased 4,000 shares, 4,000 shares, 8,000, 51,000, 223,000. The list goes on and on. This is GameStop's institutional ownership, and you can see that even when we thought institutions couldn't load up more than they did, the bar gets raised higher once again. Now, coincidentally, there was also another major buy order coming in on Lit Exchange over in Chicago, which does correlate to a lot of our tinfoil hat theories this morning on GameStop for almost $25 million, which is huge. Now we're about to get into today's video, get into the meat and potatoes of today's video. Make sure to like the video for me, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications. And also leave a comment down below. I have been getting the comment section clean, getting a team together to get rid of these bots since YouTube won't do it themselves. And I will be checking the comment section a little bit more often when it's cleaned up, right? So make sure to drop a comment. Let's chit chat. If you're not in the Discord, you can drop a comment and maybe I can get to it. Okay, GameStop, you cannot make this up. Picture perfect start to the week because this is exactly what we called out for. We are getting this shape down after this U-shaped recovery right here, and we are scaling lower. I said $30.30 for a potential bottom, or potentially $30.60. So we are right in this range. What does that mean? That means GameStop should theoretically see a bounce right here at some point once we dip into this level. And you can see we just touched this level right now. And after that dip, what do we have? Well, we have a slight scale higher and then a pop, and that is coming into tomorrow, January 7th. And then obviously you have the 8th, which is supposed to kick things off. Market's going to be closed on the 9th. Then the 10th, you have one trading day. Things are probably going to get weird. Volatility is probably going to come in. Then the 13th is when Roaring Kitty really drops some sort of catalyst on us. Probably a YOLO post or exercising his shares. But what I want to tell you right now is there could very possibly be, and I know people are, some haters are like, oh, it's not a call out if you say it's 50-50, but whatever. It's not a call out then. There could very well possibly be a Roaring Kitty tweet overnight tonight, right? And I'm just saying that based on how the charts line up, because we should see a gap right up to $33.25 or so after we bottom out at this level. And that is going to be, once we test this zone around $30.60, that is going to be a nice 9% gain on GameStop, and that is going to begin it all. And I think a simple Roaring Kitty tweet is gonna do that, right? A nice 9% gain. So ultimately that is what we are expecting. AMC is also playing out perfectly to a T with what we have tracked out. We are slowly scaling higher. Wait for this scale higher into January 7th, then a big red candle, and then we start moving higher on the 13th originally, right? Essentially the 13th is where we are looking at for AMC to make a bounce, as well as GameStop to have their biggest bounce. Now, if Roaring Kitty tweets tonight, AMC is likely to get a sympathy bounce up about 3%, while GameStop's up about 9%. And that is something that I am watching for. This chart looks like the most beautiful chart you could possibly see. This is the weekly time frame on the logarithmic scale. And you can see that we have built a huge base off of highs from 08 as well as 2013. You can see we came down and we tested this range, and now we are bouncing off of it. GameStop's chart just looks phenomenal. Now, we talked a little bit about January 13th and some tinfoil hat theories that we could have, but one of them was the swaps that needed to cover, and that's why Roaring Kitty basically said, give it to me, baby, right? It's time to return my shares. And shout out to Just Dario over on X, aka Twitter. covering some things, but we also just saw this from Interactive Brokers. In the light of the current trading environment, Interactive Brokers will be increasing the margin requirement for all MicroStrategy Inc. products, stock, equity, options, etc. Trading accounts holding a position in MicroStrategy should expect the maintenance margin requirement to increase to a minimum of 50% up from its current level. The increase will be phased in over a series of daily increments beginning after the New York Stock Exchange closed on January 8th, 2025, and continuing through the trade date, January 13th. You cannot make this up, right? They are going to do some cleanup operations when the markets close, and that's a big reason I think it's closed. It's probably the main reason I think it's closed. There's going to be way too much volatility coming in on these stocks. Now, speaking of that, we could go down the list as to what is going on behind the scenes of MicroStrategy and how it might correlate to GameStop. But we talked a little bit about MicroStrategy the other day, and if MicroStrategy is squeezing, right? If MicroStrategy is going to squeeze, this could cause some chaos between brokers, and just like January 13th of last year, this could do very well the same thing, right? Some brokers may need some bailouts, some buy buttons may be taken away, and this isn't just for MicroStrategy, this is just what it will cause. It's like a contagion that spreads across the board. We're going to talk a little bit about it later in the video, but BlackBerry up 9%, making a move here. BlackBerry is looking great. I said in Discord, just some call options, a little bit of a YOLO. BlackBerry's looking good. Some $5 January 17th calls look to be pretty good, right? I think we could easily get there, and that those looked like some of the most decent contracts. Again, high risk, high reward, but I think BlackBerry is going to blow by $5 over the next week or so. Fubo stock rose 203% off of news that Disney will combine its Hulu Plus live TV business with Fubo. Now, Fubo also has a 12% short interest of free float, and you can see it's trading at $3.90, rejected around this fib level. And I think Fubo could potentially come into this range between $5.39 and $6.90 before topping out. Just something to keep on your radar, keep a side eye on. Now, Asia stocks fall across the region to start the week. India's Sensex index tumbles over 1,000 points. Other markets are not doing well as our markets continue to climb. We're going to talk about that right now. But before we do, Justin Trudeau to officially resign as Prime Minister over in Canada. And we are looking at the U.S. economic data this week. Today we have factory orders, and then Tuesday ISM services, JOLTS job openings, Wednesday ADP non-farm payrolls, as well as jobless claims and Fed FOMC minutes. Wednesday is going to be a very important day for the market, and then you have Friday non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate, average hourly earnings, consumer sentiment, so on and so forth. Now, if we look at the S&P 500 from January of 2021, what happened when GameStop and AMC were squeezing? Well, we did see an all-time high on the 8th for the SPY, which I think is basically near where we're trading at right now. Will we see a high? I'm not too sure, but that just so lines up with Wednesday, which is the FOMC meeting, the FOMC minutes. So the SPY could very well make a high on Wednesday or towards the end of this week, and then start to kind of chop trade and make its last high before getting a little bit of a sell-off. Now, we originally had something drawn out like this on the SPY, and it could very well take this long. January 16th to the 27th, SPY will make an all-time high. February 11th to the 20th, it will make its final all-time high before collapsing. And I still stand by that. I am still in my SPY calls. Not to mention, those calls that were alerted in Discord that we held over the weekend are now up over 100%, and I continue to hold those. If you're not in the Discord yet, you can see my trades as soon as I take them. Get in the Discord. It's cheap. The value you get out of it is insane. I'll explain at the end of the video. But SPY is pressing up on 599.48 currently as we speak. Resistance was 599, but we are starting to trade over that. And you can see there is major resistance here still at 599.65. We saw a huge flush down here once we broke below that level. Once we break above that level, you might see tons of buying pressure, and that could easily bump us to 602.50, 604, and then 606. If we get a rejection at 606, it's likely going to be Wednesday, and we're going to see a collapse from 606. However, if we get above 606, all-time high is likely to come in between 612 and 618, and then our last all-time high, 623 plus, coming late February. Now, Bitcoin also getting a massive pop back up above 100,000 in this zone. Again, this is a major supply zone. It's trading at 102,200, getting a massive move. Ethereum also getting a breakout above the 1618 on the fib. Ethereum has to break out of this channel again above 3,800 before we see any sort of moves for confirmation over on Ethereum. But MicroStrategy is obviously getting a positive from this, pressing up against a major resistance level at 362.50. If we break and close above 362.60 or 364 for confirmation, you could easily ride calls to 396, 426, 455, so on and so forth. But I did alert some calls in Discord as well, potential calls for MicroStrategy. Lastly, for MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy bought another 1,070 Bitcoin worth $101 million. So he continues to add. Nvidia just surpassed Apple to become the largest company by market cap again, I believe. And I said last night on the YouTube video, calls at open for Nvidia to easily 150, and you could have easily made some nice gains on those. Nvidia is up 5% on the day. Nvidia is likely to make its way up to 150. So calls on Nvidia probably at open up to 150, which would have been a nicer gain if you were trading options. Now it is trading at 151.70, and this is a crucial zone for Nvidia because this is now nearing the all-time high levels. And if we get above this region, above all-time highs, Nvidia could have a nice move to 170 alongside the SPY moving to 623. HIMS we talked about, and it was up about 8% today, I believe. We got a gap higher, and now we are slowly selling off. I still do believe in this one. It just got rejected off of some key resistance right here that you see. Once we get above this, this thing could have a nice breakout to $39.50. We also called out Tesla, which we're going to talk about in a second, but Amazon coming above a crucial level as well, 228. I think Amazon is a good entry for calls here with a stop loss at 226. And last but not least, I want to talk about Tesla because this was also another very, very good call out that we had. I said Tesla is going to gap probably above 422 and then make a big candle to 458. We did get that gap up here, and now we are coming down to fill that gap. This could potentially be call opportunity for Tesla to come back, recapture, and close above 416. If we close back above 416, because we are trading at 410 right now, Tesla looks pretty good, and you're likely to see towards the end of the week that candle that I talked about up to 458. But again, be aware because there is no confirmation here just yet, and this is still a dangerous game to play on Tesla. Tesla also got a major rejection at this trend line, just like him. So we are seeing a lot of rejections across the board, and we are going to see what the SPY wants to do. Overall, guys, that is what I got for you for today's video. If you come under the video and you take a look at the top link, it says join Discord. That'll take you here. Once you get in the Discord, is a great family who talks stocks and crypto all day long, who want to become financially free like yourselves. We post our gains in there. We post our losses. We talk stocks and crypto. I post my trades as soon as I take them. We have options, sweep alerts, market news, dark pool trade alerts, insider trade alerts, and more. And there's just the best vibes in there. Whether you're a beginner or advanced trader, it's a place to go. Come grow the family for 2025. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. We are almost at 31K. And the second link under the video is going to give you up to 15 free stocks courtesy of Moomoo. Just press this link, open an account, and deposit. Once they approve you, it should take 2 minutes out of your day, and you will start earning 15 free stocks, each valued up to $2,000 per stock, as well as earning 8.1% APY on your uninvested cash. Level 2 order book data for free, access to trading options, going long, going short, viewing other exchanges, a customizable earnings calendar, and a ton of other benefits. So do not sleep on these links in the description, guys. That is it. I love you all. God bless. Lottery Stocks out.